boys, 4th and 5th graders, who were really having a difficult time getting along. And there was one young boy especially who was a pretty quiet, sensitive child who seemed to be the brunt of everybody else's comments, exclusions, and things like that. And it was because of that that we were encountering on a daily basis, and the word bully would come up frequently from kids, other kids in the classrooms, or parents, that led us to realize, you know what, we need to do something about this or address it. I'm not sure I would have called it bullying, but that's the name that gets thrown out. It's in the media all the time, every time you see an altercation of some kind. And 2 of my faculty members happened to see a workshop being held on the south side of Milwaukee. And so they went down there and they heard Izzy Kallman speak, and they came back and they were so energized and enthused about his presentation because it was a unique way of looking at and dealing with the situation. So based on my prayers, and I believe God leading us with the children we had in our classroom, and then my faculty going, that's how we ended up with our speaker today. Izzy is a nationally certified child psychologist or school psychologist. He's a psychotherapist in private practice. He founded the group Bullies to Buddies in 2001. He's written a number of articles that are in newspapers, journals, magazines, and parenting publications. And he's been a guest on numerous local, national radio TV shows. So I'd like to introduce to you Izzy Kallman and have you welcome him today.
Okay. Thank you, Judy, for that wonderful introduction. Okay. You know, among my titles is bullying expert. You know, there's this new field, bullying experts. I happen to hate the term, being called a bullying expert. First of all, this word bullying has become so general that it doesn't mean anything. There are bullying experts that call the Holocaust bullying, they call slavery bullying, but also things like eye rolling is called bullying. I recently participated in a conference on bullying, and the presenter before me spoke about eye rolling, and she said it's now the school's responsibility to make sure that no children roll their eyes. So everything is being called bullying. I also have the dubious distinction of being the world's most serious critic of the anti-bully movement. Our country and much of the modern world went on its anti-bully crusade because of Columbine. And I knew right away this isn't going to work. We decided we're going to get rid of bullies. I knew it couldn't possibly work. It's going to cause more harm than good. I've been warning about this for years. This past April, the United States Department of Education announced that what the country is doing about bullying isn't working, and we have to find a different approach to bullying. So I'm going to be showing you today a different approach to bullying that really does work. I'm not so good at modern technology, especially PowerPoint, but let me see. The equipment here is terrific, so I really appreciate it. Now, there are 2 general ways of trying to get rid of bullying. One way is to try to stop children from being bullies. And that's what almost all anti-bully programs do. They try to stop children from being bullies. But this approach is not very successful because who are the bullies? Does anybody ever come to us for help saying, oh, you know what, I'm a bully, I'm too powerful, people are afraid of me, please help me get rid of my power? Nobody comes asking for help saying that they're a bully. When we accuse kids of being bullies, they almost always deny it. What do you mean? I'm not a bully. Don't call me a bully. They're starting with me. What do you mean they're just getting back at them? But they're starting with me. What are you blaming me for? If the problem is the bully, it means it's not the person who's coming to us for help. So what are we supposed to do? Every time somebody comes to us asking for help, we have to go make other people change. Try to change somebody who doesn't think that they are the problem. If I'm a victim of bullying and I have to wait for you to make other people change, I'm probably going to be bullied for a very long time. Now, another way of trying to get rid of bullying is by teaching kids how not to be victims. Because if you know how not to be a victim, nobody can bully you, and then things get better right away, and you don't have to wait for other people to change for you. So my approach is the second way. I teach people how not to be victims. Now, I have a few goals for my presentation. One goal is to change the way you think about bullying. The main reason that the anti-bully movement is failing is because it's treating bullying like a crime. We're not going to tolerate it. We're going to protect children from bullies. We're going to interrogate, investigate, judge, and punish bullies. That's what we're trying to do, but it doesn't work very well. The number one reason that kids hate each other is because they tell on each other to the authorities. So let's say we're kids in school and you picked on me, and I tell the teacher that you bullied me. And now the teacher sends you to the principal's office and you get suspended for bullying me. Is that going to make you like me? You're going to hate me. You're going to want to beat the crap out of me. So treating bullying like a crime almost always makes the hostilities escalate. Also, the research has shown repeatedly and unequivocally that zero tolerance doesn't work, and it makes things worse. So a zero tolerance approach to bullying is not effective. My approach is a psychological approach. It involves teaching people to use their brains to understand and solve their problems. The Bullies to Buddies approach is consistent with every major school of psychology. It's consistent with the teachings of all major religions and secular philosophies. My second goal is to increase your appreciation of wise people throughout history. The bullying experts are trying so hard to find the solution to bullying. The solution to bullying has been known for thousands of years. It's called wisdom. All wisdom is about dealing with the hardships of life. All wise people throughout the world and throughout history have known the solution to bullying. And I think nobody has understood the solution to bullying better than Jesus did. And he taught it. It's right in the Sermon on the Mount. It's an incredible speech. The solution to bullying is in the Sermon on the Mount. Now, Jesus taught the practical application of the Golden Rule, and he taught love your enemy. Love your enemy. That is the solution to bullying. But the anti-bully movement is teaching hatred of bullies. I've seen pictures drawn by children in anti-bully lessons. They get a lesson in school on bullying, they draw a picture, and they write underneath, "I hate bullies." Get on the internet, look up articles on bullying. You'll see how much hatred is freely expressed towards bullies and towards parents of bullies. They write about bullies and their parents like they have no right to be alive. Schools are trying to teach tolerance today. This is how they're trying to teach tolerance. It is very, very important to be completely tolerant of everyone. And if anyone shows you any kind of intolerance, we will have no tolerance for them. I came across an article about a school that had a competition for an anti-bully poster. The winning poster said, "Bullies ain't cool, kick them out of school." I wasn't cool, said I've been kicked out of school. I'm cool today, I wasn't always. I came across a very beautiful poster on the internet with a beautiful illustration of a dead bulldog, and the poster said, "The only good bully is a dead bully." And nobody criticizes it. You can say the worst things about bullies today and you get applauded for it. But it's a violation of the basic teachings of Jesus. My third goal is to show you how to teach people to stop being bullied all by themselves without anybody's help and without getting anybody in trouble. It is absolutely effortless to stop being bullied. You just have to understand how to do it. My fourth goal is to teach you how to dramatically reduce bullying among kids, both in school and at home, by doing less than we're currently doing. The bullying experts all insist that schools are not doing enough to make the bullying stop. And in fact, they tell us the reason bullying goes on in schools is because the schools are doing nothing to make it stop. And if you're a school principal, you know how ridiculous that accusation is. I'm going to be demonstrating later that most of the bullying that goes on between kids, whether it's in school or at home, is actually caused by the adults. It's caused by the attempts of the adults to make the children stop bullying each other. The typical things that adults do to make kids stop bullying each other, and in fact the things that are being mandated by a law that the schools do to make kids stop bullying each other, actually makes them do it even more. So it's a catch-22. The harder you try to make children stop bullying each other, the more they do it. So I'm going to be showing you how to reduce bullying among kids, both in school and at home, by doing less than we're currently doing. And the kids will become more emotionally mature, resilient, and independent. And if you work in a school, the teachers' lives will become easier. Also, they'll be able to spend their time teaching academics instead of dealing with bullying. A fifth goal is to teach you how to improve relationships both with your students and with anybody else in your life, because the principles that I'm going to be teaching are universal. They work in just about all relationships. My approach is not about getting rid of severe psychopathology or criminal behavior. Now, what I'm teaching does have application for criminal behavior, for psychopathology, but that's not what the field of bullying is about. The field of bullying is about the ordinary kinds of negative things that children do to each other. Name-calling, eye-rolling, social exclusion, rumors, children knocking each other in the hallway, but they're not injuring anybody. That is the reason for the existence of the field of bullying. Now, most bullying experts tell us that kids become victims of bullying because they're different in some way. They're overweight, they wear glasses, they're in special education, they're gay or lesbian, they belong to a minority race or religion. That's why kids become victims of bullying. That is not why kids become victims of bullying. Just about anybody can become a victim of bullying. It all boils down to a simple mistake that anybody can make, and most of us do make this mistake. Most people are driven crazy by somebody else in their lives. A spouse, a child, a parent, a boss, a colleague, an in-law, a neighbor. Most people are driven crazy by somebody. It's because we're all making the same mistake. Is there anyone here who is not familiar with the expression, there are no easy solutions? Has everybody heard there are no easy solutions? I hear this all the time about all kinds of problems. This is what we're being taught about bullying. The solution to bullying is a very complex solution. The whole society has to be involved. Student bystanders, teachers, parents, law enforcement officers, celebrities. Everybody has to be involved in order to help kids stop being bullied in school. It is not solutions that are difficult. The thing that's difficult is problems. When you're having problems, they're making you suffer, you're working very hard to make the problem go away, and whatever you're doing isn't working. So it seems like the solution must be something very difficult. But usually, when you come up with a solution that works, it tends to be something very simple, and the problem goes away and you stop suffering. So please keep in mind that it's not solutions that are difficult. The thing that's difficult is problems. The difficult solutions are usually the wrong solutions. The truth is, most interpersonal problems are no more complex than the situation of the dog chasing its own tail. Has anybody here ever seen a dog chasing its tail? Now, I don't know exactly what's going on in the mind of the dog because it can't talk to me and I'm not a dog whisperer. But what I believe is happening, the dog notices its tail moving from the corner of its eye. Dogs are programmed to chase and try to catch things that are moving. So the dog starts chasing its tail, trying to catch the tail, and make the tail stop moving away. What the dog doesn't realize is that by chasing the tail, it's not making the tail stop moving away, that's what's making the tail continue moving away. And the same thing is true with many human problems. I'm going to be showing you that the very things that the victims are doing to try to make the bullying stop are actually what's making the bullying continue. I'm going to be showing you that the things that the adults are doing to try to make kids stop bullying each other actually makes them do it even more. Now, I would like you to consider a philosophy of life. You are entitled to live in a world without mean people. If people are mean to you, it has nothing to do with you, your behavior, or your attitudes. It's only because of them. It is not your responsibility to do anything to get people to stop being mean to you. Just inform the authorities when people are mean to you, and the authorities will make them stop. Does anyone here know any major school of psychology, philosophy, or religion that teaches this approach to life? Now, this is nonsense. Anybody who lives like this is going to be miserable. But this is the philosophy that's behind the anti-bullying movement, and we wonder why it's failing. Now, I want to ask you a series of questions before I begin my practical presentation. What do we want from our students and children? Do we want our children to grow up into adults who, A, blame others for their feelings and problems, or do we want our children to grow up into adults who, B, take personal responsibility for their feelings and problems? Anyone here feel that the better answer is A? Okay, a couple of people. Who here feel that the better answer is B? Okay, well, almost everybody. What is an emotionally healthy child, or a person for that matter? Is it A, someone who demands to be treated like they're perfect and gets upset whenever somebody criticizes or pokes fun at them? Or is an emotionally healthy child or person B, someone who knows they're not perfect, can handle criticism, and can take a joke about themselves and make a joke about themselves? Anyone feel that the better answer is A? I think the computer likes this one. Why isn't it? I must have done something wrong. What's happening here? Anybody know what's wrong here? I turned it off? let me. Oh, okay. Finally, it's working. But it's not working anymore. Okay, I hope I'll get this right. I'll go through this question. I hope it'll work afterwards. Okay. We want our children to develop resilience. Life is difficult. We want them to grow up being able to handle the hardships of life. How is resilience developed? Is resilience developed by A, being sheltered from adversity, or is resilience developed by B, experiencing adversity? Anyone feel that the better answer is A? Now, experiencing adversity is no guarantee that the child is going to develop resilience. It can destroy the child. But I don't see how a person can possibly develop resilience if they never experience any hardship. Okay, my worst fears are coming true. Okay, I don't know what I did there. Okay. Do we want our children, A, to be easily upset by words, and by words I mean insults and criticisms, or do we want our children, B, not to be easily upset by words? Anyone feel that the better answer is A? That we want to teach our children, you should get very upset whenever somebody says something negative about you. Okay. Do we want our children, A, to be easily upset by physical actions that don't cause any physical pain or damage? Or do we want our children, B, to be unfazed by physical actions that don't cause any physical pain or damage? Anyone feel that the better answer is A? Okay. Do we want our children, A, to expect others to solve their social problems for them, or do we want our children, B, to learn to solve their social problems on their own? Anyone feel that the better answer is A? That we want to teach our children, don't try to solve your problems, let other people do it for you. Okay. We want our children to develop self-confidence and self-esteem. How do children develop self-confidence and self-esteem? Is it by A, relying on others to solve their social problems for them, or is it by B, solving their social problems on their own? Anyone feel that the better answer is A? Is informing on people, A good way to get them to like you and respect you, or is informing on people, B, a good way to get them to despise you? Anyone feel that the better answer is A? If you want people to like you and respect you, try to get them in trouble with the authorities. Okay. Now, the answers to these questions are fairly obvious. Very few people think that A is the better answer to any of these questions. However, today, society, the mental health professions, and especially the bullying experts are promoting the A responses. The responses every thinking person realizes are the less good responses. My approach is to promote the B responses, to teach children to solve problems by themselves, to teach them not to get upset by insults, not to get upset by things that don't hurt anybody, to develop self-confidence by learning to handle life on their own. Now, if you prefer the A responses, you're entitled to that, but that's what everybody else is doing. I'm here to promote the B responses. Now I'm going to be showing you how I teach people, especially kids, not to be victims. Now, as I said before, the solution to bullying has been known for thousands of years, and it's called today the Golden Rule. The Golden Rule is the solution to bullying. It is the formula for creating a utopian society. and I mean this literally, utopia. I had never really understood what utopia is. I always thought that utopia is this like mythical, impossible place that's like heaven on earth where nothing bad ever happens. About a year ago, I actually bothered to read the book Utopia by Sir Thomas More, who wrote it about 500 years ago. And I was amazed by what I discovered. It is not intended to be an impossible place. In fact, Sir Thomas More presents it as a real place that was described to him by an explorer who went to the New World, and he discovered this incredible country where things are wonderful. And it's not a place where nothing bad ever happens. They have crime, they even have warfare. But they minimize these problems because they live by moral principles. And if you read it, these principles are really consistent with the Golden Rule. And Utopia in this book has a very small government, and they have very few laws. It's not like today in the modern world where we're trying to solve problems by passing more and more laws that make the government responsible for solving our problems for us. There is very little government, but the people live by moral principles. And if you live by moral principles, you will create utopia. And there's another wonderful book that I think everybody should read. It's called Ancient Futures Learning from Ladakh. Ladakh is this large area in the Himalayas next to Tibet. The population is approximately 100,000 people, and they had been living the same way of life for the last 2,000 years, with no modern technology, no electricity. Everything they have is made completely on their own. Everything is recycled. The place is beautiful and clean. And these are the most moral, resilient, and happy people you'll find on the face of the planet. And there's no formal government. But if you read the book carefully, you will see that they live by the Golden Rule. And they're happy and they're resilient. So it is possible to create a utopian society if you live by the Golden Rule. It's not something mythical. Now, I want to talk a few minutes about the Golden Rule before I begin my role plays. Now, wise people have understood the importance of the Golden Rule for thousands of years. So why don't the social sciences and the mental health professions teach the practice of the Golden Rule? I think it's for two general reasons. One reason is very few people actually understand what the Golden Rule is about. Many people believe it means, let's say I'm serving ice cream and I like chocolate ice cream. I have to give you chocolate even though you may like vanilla because I like chocolate. That is an infantile interpretation of the Golden Rule. Most people believe the Golden Rule means it's important to be nice to people. Don't be a bully. And the truth is today many bullying experts cite the Golden Rule as the solution to bullying. But they don't really understand it. They think it means be nice to everybody. And if we can just get everybody to be nice, then bullying is going to disappear. We do not need the Golden Rule to teach us that it's important to be nice. It's obvious that it's important to be nice. Our whole lives we're being taught how important it is to be nice. The problem is, what do you do when people are not nice to you? When they're mean to you, when they bully you, what do? So since we're taught all the time that it's important to be nice, when somebody is mean to us, how do we react? They have no right to treat me that way. They're supposed to be nice to me. I'm nice to everybody. How dare they treat me that way? So what happens is we get angry at them. We want revenge. We want to get them punished. So what the Golden Rule really comes to teach us is that we should be nice to people even when they're mean to us. That's what the Golden Rule is about. Look at the Sermon on the Mount. It's an incredible speech. And Jesus talks a lot about living by the Golden Rule. And he says, it's not about being nice to people who are nice to us. He says anybody can do that. Even the corrupt tax collectors can be nice to people who are nice to them. He says it's about being nice to people even when they're mean to us. And he gives us many examples. He says, love your enemy. Turn the other cheek. If somebody asks you to carry something for a mile, carry it for 2 miles. If somebody wants your coat from you, give them your shirt also. He says, don't get angry. Which means, of course, don't get angry at people when they're mean to us. We don't get angry at people when they're nice to us. So Jesus understood this perfectly and taught it, but very few people today seem to get it. And I think the second general reason that the social sciences don't teach the practice of the Golden Rule is that the Golden Rule has become associated with religion, and psychology is science, and science is divorced from religion, so we don't even look at the Golden Rule. But the Golden Rule is not necessarily a religious rule. You can be an atheist and still love the Golden Rule. The Golden Rule is actually a scientific psychological formula. It's a formula for creating harmony. I'm going to explain how the Golden Rule works scientifically. We are biologically programmed for what social scientists call the law of reciprocity. Reciprocity. This means I'm going to treat you the way you're treating me. Which means if you're nice to me, I'll be nice to you, and if you're mean to me, I'll be mean to you. And if you think about it, you'll realize that this is what we're all biologically programmed to treat others the way they treat us. Who here feels in your gut like being mean to somebody who's truly being nice to you? Anybody here feel like being mean to people who are nice to you? Any psychopaths here? No. When others are nice to us, we feel like being nice back. Who here feels in your gut like being nice to somebody who's truly being mean to you? To somebody trying to hurt you or cheat you or kill you? Anybody feel inside right away, oh, I want to be nice to them because they're trying to hurt me? We feel like being mean back. We can control it, but this is what our guts tell us. To be nice to those who are nice to us and mean to those who are mean to us. We're all like this because we're programmed for life in nature. In nature, life is very dangerous, and if creatures are mean to us, we better be mean back, otherwise they're going to demolish us. But the truth is, even the law of reciprocity does create a fair amount of harmony. If you look at social creatures that live in nature, including human beings, you will see that they spend far more time being nice to each other and cooperative than they do being aggressive. Because what we discover is that when we're nice to others, they tend to be nice back. And when we're mean to others, they tend to be mean back. So we discover all by ourselves that in general it pays to be nice to others. The Golden Rule makes a higher level of harmony possible, and it takes advantage of the law of reciprocity. We are biologically programmed to treat others the way they treat us. But if I live my life like that, I have very little control over my relationships. If you're nice to me, I'll be nice back and we'll be friends. But if you're mean to me, I'll be mean back and we'll be enemies. The Golden Rule puts me in charge. I'm going to be nice to you even when you're mean to me. Because how long can you keep on being mean to me when I'm always nice to you? Before long, you're going to start being nice to me because you're biologically programmed to treat me the way I treat you. So the golden rule puts me in control. It is the ultimate empowerment. People who truly live by the golden rule do not become victims of bullying. They rarely have relationship problems. Now, the golden rule does not mean that you have to give everybody everything they want. You can be hurting people by giving them everything they want. You can be spoiling them, enabling them, preventing them from developing independence. The golden rule does not mean that you have to let people take advantage of you or injure you or kill you. Of course, now you have to protect yourself from them. You have to prevent them from doing bad things. But you don't do it because you hate them. You do it because you love them. But you have to stop them from doing bad things. The single most important thing that I have to teach people is how to deal with verbal attacks. Because most of the incidents that we call bullying are verbal. And even the great majority of physical fights begin with words. So if you know how to deal with verbal attacks, most of the bullying disappears. Now, when I work with a victim of bullying, there are several questions I ask them. By the way, the demonstration I'm going to do now, I call it the golden rule or freedom of speech game. I hope by the end you'll understand why I call it that. But there are several things I'll ask the kid who's being bullied. I want to know from you who calls you names or makes fun of you. What names do they call you? How often do they do it to you? How long has it been going on? What have you been doing to try to make kids stop, picking on you? And I'll ask you, why do you think they do it to you? This takes maybe 5 minutes. It doesn't take more than a few minutes for me to find out the nature and extent of the problem. Then I will ask you, do you want the kids to stop picking on you? And of course you're going to tell me yes. So I tell you, I'm going to play a game with you. This game is going to teach you the real reason you're being picked on, and it's also going to teach you how to get kids to stop picking on you. There's only one reason that anybody gets picked on over and over again by the same people. This game shows what that reason is, and it also teaches the solution to the problem. So now I need a volunteer to come up here and play my game with me. Now I want you to be aware that this presentation is being filmed. So please don't volunteer if you're not willing to be filmed. Now I'd like a volunteer with one particular characteristic. I would like a volunteer who's a good human being. I don't want a volunteer who's a sadist, somebody who enjoys hurting people just for the sake of hurting them. I can do that, but I want a volunteer who's a good human being because I'm going to be demonstrating basic human nature even of good people. Who here would be interested in being my victim? A volunteer, I mean. I have a volunteer? Okay, come up, please. Okay. By the way, you know what happens when I ask for volunteers from a room full of children? Me, everybody wants to do it. The kids have the right attitude. If you volunteer, you have more fun and you learn better. Okay, come up, please. And I'm going to give you this to make it easier for you.
Okay.
Testing 1, 2, 3. Okay.
Is mine on?
Yes.
Do I have it? Oh, there we go.
Yours is on.
All right.
What is your name?
My name is Beth Richter.
Beth Richter. Okay.
Sorry.
She has a very small ear. It doesn't.
Apparently, yeah, no, it's
Let me hold
not
this while you
average.
put it on your ear.
I got it.
Comfortable? Okay. You can put it in your pocket or clip it on.
Okay.
Very good. So Beth, let's say you're a kid being picked on. I've just interviewed you about the problem, and now I'm going to play this game with you to teach you why you're having the problem and how to solve it.
Okay.
Let's move over a drop so we're in the middle. Okay. Beth, your job in this game is to insult me. And my job is to make you stop.
Okay.
But don't let me stop you, because if I can stop you, I win the game and you lose. Beth,
Okay.
do you play to lose or to win?
I play to win.
That I want to play to win the game. Don't worry about hurting my feelings. It's only a game. It's make-believe. I want you to do a good job.
Okay.
You can say the worst insults in the world. You can insult my race, my religion, my gender,
Your
my
technology
skin problem.
skills.
What?
Your technology skills.
My technology skills. Don't.
Oh, wait, have we not started?
Okay. Good. Do not worry about hurting my feelings. I want you to do a good job. Also, don't talk nonstop. Give me a chance to answer you. Make it like a conversation. And you don't have to be creative and original. You don't have to think of new insults all the time.
Okay.
You can stick with the same insult and keep on repeating it. I don't want you to work hard thinking of what to say.
Okay.
The only thing that counts is that you don't let me stop you. Go ahead.
Let's see. Your technology skills are pretty awful.
They're not pretty awful. They're not fantastic, but they're not awful.
For you being such a fantastic presenter, doing it quite often, I'm really quite surprised that you don't know how to
But
operate.
I don't use PowerPoint much. I haven't used it, I've just begun using it recently.
Well, then you should know how to use it. It's pretty simple to learn.
But you saw it doesn't work. Sometimes you click on the clicker and nothing happens. It's not my fault.
Yeah, it's really easy to learn how to do the clicker. It's one button.
Sometimes the button doesn't work, and sometimes the computer stops working.
The button worked just fine during church this morning.
Because you have really talented people whose profession is to work with technology. It's not my profession. So stop criticizing me.
I think it's a part of a presenter's profession to use a PowerPoint presentation.
You don't have to use it. Many good speakers don't use PowerPoint at all. I usually don't use it.
I haven't seen any good speakers not use a PowerPoint.
I've seen many good presenters and they don't use a PowerPoint.
Well, you're a little bit older than I am, and this is kind of the newer...
I'm not too old to learn modern technology. I'm fairly decent at technology. I'm just not perfect.
Fairly decent and not knowing how to use a PowerPoint presentation just don't mesh very well.
Listen, stop criticizing me already.
I know.
You show me respect.
I'm trying to motivate you to learn more.
I'm learning more all the time. I don't need your motivation. Now leave me alone already. Time out for a second.
I'm losing.
Okay, no, because this is kind of sophisticated. Let's make it more simple. Say,
Okay.
Izzy, you're an idiot. Call me an idiot.
You're an idiot.
I'm not an idiot.
Well, yeah, you are.
I am not an idiot. What are you talking about?
I'm talking about a basic skill that you do not know how to do, and that clearly shows that
It
you're
is
an
not
idiot.
a basic skill. I mean, when I was growing up, this technology didn't even exist. It's not basic. This is very sophisticated.
Absolutely not.
It's very sophisticated. Not everybody can
Well,
do
now
this.
you're starting to stomp your feet like a 2-year-old.
Listen, you have no right to come up here and disrespect me like that. I'm the presenter. You show me respect.
Yeah, but I'm the audience, so I get to judge you as part of what I do.
You have no right to judge me. Who are you to judge me?
The audience.
You have no right to judge me. You show me respect, or I'll make you show me respect.
Well, that sounds like a threat.
It is. How dare you come up here and talk to me like that?
I was invited.
And now I'm telling you, now you better stop putting me down.
Well, that sounds like another threat.
Listen, you stop putting me down right now. You're going to see what happens to you.
I'm willing to keep putting you down.
I dare you to.
Well, now you're challenging me, and I don't appreciate that.
I don't appreciate you calling me an idiot.
But you are.
I'm not an idiot. Now you shut your mouth right now. I'll shut it for you.
Ooh, see, that's unacceptable.
Calling me an idiot is not acceptable.
You're an idiot.
Listen, I am not an idiot. You're the idiot because you're going to leave her on a stretcher.
I don't want to get hit in the face.
You call me an idiot one more time, you're going to see what happens to you.
I like challenges.
I dare you. You call me an idiot one more time, you're going to see what happens to you.
You're an idiot.
I told you not to call me an idiot. Now leave me alone already. I'm talking plain English, S-T-O-P.
Wow, you can spell.
I can spell very well.
Mm-hmm.
Now you stop calling me an idiot or you're going to be really sorry.
But I thought you already said that, and I called you an idiot again.
Well, I'm giving you another chance, but I'm not going to give you any more chances.
Can I call you stupid instead?
No, that's not any better. You do it one more time, you're really going to be sorry.
No, I think you're stupid.
I am not stupid. Now leave me alone.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not what? You're not going to leave me alone?
No, not until you realize that you're stupid.
I am not stupid. I'm a smart person.
I have not seen that yet.
I even got to graduate school and I did well. Don't call me stupid.
Yeah, lots of people go through graduate school.
And they're smart.
And
you can't get into graduate school if you're stupid.
No, you can.
No, you can't.
Yes, you can.
Now, I'm warning you, better stop calling me idiot or stupid. You're really going to be sorry.
Or what?
I know karate. I'll break every bone in your body.
Yeah, but no, you don't.
Yes, I do.
I don't believe it.
Don't test me.
I'm kind of tall.
I don't care how tall you are. I'll smash your face in. You call me it one more time, you're really going to be sorry.
I've heard that line a lot.
Well, I'm giving you a chance to give up already.
Absolutely not.
I dare you to do it again.
Well, you're stupid.
I'm not stupid. I said, shut your mouth already. Okay, I give up. Let's give Beth a round of applause. You did a good job. No, we're not.
Oh,
We're not.
okay.
Good job. Beth, you did a very good job.
Thanks.
I tried really hard to get you to stop calling me an idiot. Was I able to make you stop?
No.
Was it hard to insult me?
No.
Not terribly
It's
hard.
not.
So, Beth, in this game, if you want to insult me, can I make you stop?
No.
Because it's up to you. It's your mouth, it's your brain. If you
Right.
want to insult me, you're going to insult me. You did a very nice job, and we're going to play the game again.
Okay.
You have to call me insults, and I have to make you stop. Can I make you stop?
I don't think so.
Good. Don't let me, because if you stop, I win and you lose.
Okay.
Go ahead.
All right. So we were talking earlier about your presentation skills and how crappy they are.
Yeah.
And we came to the conclusion that you're an idiot.
You know, I do stupid things every day.
Well, that's good. I'm glad that you could admit that your level of intelligence is low.
Most of my friends are so smart, I don't even know why they hang around me.
So do you really have any friends at all?
Believe it or not, I have a few.
You have a few?
Yeah. You probably have a lot, right?
I have a lot of
I know.
friends. Yeah.
Because, you know, you're so happy and you're so sociable. I'm not surprised that you have a lot of friends.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Now back to you.
Yes.
So when did you first learn that you were pretty inadequate and that you're kind of an idiot?
The truth is, I felt inadequate about certain things, I think, from my early teen years.
So then why do you keep trying to do this whole presentation thing if you're not good at it?
I'm getting better.
Are you?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Believe it or not.
Okay. Yeah.
I used to be
don't.
worse.
Wow. I'm impressed that people gave you a chance.
Me too. People can be so nice.
Yeah, that's true. People can be nice.
Yes.
Yeah, I've seen it.
But don't forget, now you have to insult me. And you can say worse things about me.
I could.
You can insult my religion. You know, I'm Jewish. You can insult me for being a Jew.
I could.
You could, yeah. That's
could.
okay too.
But it's not okay.
Anything you want to say is okay.
Can we talk? Well, see if.
As long as it's nasty, you can say anything you want. You can insult my skin problem, and I have vitiligo. You can.
I
put
was
me down for
noticing
that.
the bruise on your fingernail.
That
Looks kind of
yeah,
gross,
that's right.
but that's not really insulting you.
But you can insult me. You can insult my character. It's okay.
Insult your character. But I don't know anything about your character. Can I assume?
You can make up stuff.
I'm going to assume that
Yes.
because you're talking about bullying, I got nothing. That's right.
What?
It was really hard to understand you at the beginning, and I'm still kind of struggling to understand you.
I've actually gone for speech lessons. You should have heard me a few years ago.
Well, then I wouldn't have been able to understand you at all.
That's right.
That's very true.
I would
So
listen
if
to
you've gone to
recordings
speech
of me, I could-
lessons,
What?
since you've gone to these lessons,
Yes.
how come you're not great at talking?
You should have heard me before.
Yeah, but I didn't. I hear you now.
I know. I've become like acceptable now.
So you're a
Tolerable.
presenter
Yes.
who doesn't have good presentation skills
Right.
and has a sort of speech problem.
Yes. Yes. I'm not here because I'm a
not okay.
speaker. I'm here because I have something to teach.
Well, I'm sure what you have to say is good, but I'm kind of tired. And so I was sleeping for a good portion of your presentation because I wasn't very entertained.
Yes.
So if you have something good to say, but you're not good at saying it, no one's going to hear it.
You're
and
right.
that means you're pretty bad at what you do.
And I've seen speakers who are incredible. I wish I could be like them.
I do too.
Oh, thank you.
Oh.
Nobody can say anything nasty about me that you want.
So your outfit.
Yes.
Yeah. What era did that come from?
The 80s?
The 80s.
Yeah.
So before I was born. I mean, if it was earlier in the 80s, that outfit's older than me. That's a good one.
Well, I kind of wear my taste is like from the 80s or even the 70s. It was really weird, but more like 80s.
Well, the 70s are coming back, but the 80s never will, so you probably shouldn't wear that.
It could be. I don't have the best fashion sense in the world.
That's very true.
Yes.
We're really just building our list of flaws here.
If I have flaws, you see them.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes.
Yeah. Your glasses are crooked. Can I concede?
If you want to.
I want to concede.
Okay, let's give Beth another round of applause.
All these people.
What?
He's making me do this. And I'm a little sister, so I've got good insult skills, but
Okay, but anyway,
I don't
you
do
did
this
a nice
normally.
job, but you know you can't win this one.
yeah.
Either lose now, you lose later, and the more you go on, the more you lose.
And the worse I feel about myself.
Yeah,
That's
the
hard.
worse you feel.
Yeah.
Now, we played the game 2 times, Beth. Which time was more fun for you?
The first.
Yeah, you had a pretty good time.
Yeah.
Was the second time fun, or did you feel frustrated?
I was frustrated.
Who won the game the first time?
I did.
Who won the second time?
You did.
We're even now, it's okay.
Yeah, that's good.
Which one of us looked like the bigger idiot the first time?
Probably you.
Did I look like a little idiot or a big idiot?
Big one.
A humongous idiot. Shut your mouth again, talk to me like that. Which one of us looked like the bigger idiot the second time?
I did.
Did you feel like an idiot the second time?
Absolutely.
So the first time I was the bigger idiot, and the second time Beth was. Which time could you respect me more?
The second time.
Could you respect me the first time?
Probably not.
Even though the first time I was standing up for myself and acting tough and warning you and threatening you, you couldn't possibly respect me because I looked like a supersized idiot. The second time, not only wasn't I standing up for myself, I was agreeing with the insults and adding to the insults. I was even insulting myself the second time, and you could respect me more. Now, I'm not implying that you have to agree with insults about yourself or that you have to insult yourself. You don't have to do that. The important thing is not to get upset when you're being insulted, but I was showing that I can even insult myself, and I come out being the winner, and I'm the one who gets the respect. Beth, which time did I work harder?
The first time.
Yeah, I'm yelling, screaming, my blood pressure's going up. I was working very hard the first time. Was I working hard the second time?
Not as much, I guess. No.
Was
No
I
is the right
working hard
answer.
at
No.
all?
No.
I was completely relaxed. I was letting you insult me, going along with what you were saying. Do I have to work hard to let you insult me?
No.
No, you're doing the work. So the first time was very hard for me, and it was easy for Beth. The second time was a cinch for me, and it was hard for Beth. The first time was I treating you like a friend or an enemy.
A friend.
The first time?
Kinda. Well,
Shut
okay.
your mouth, I'll smash your
All right,
face in.
well, then toward the end it was an enemy.
Yeah.
Enemy.
An enemy. You have nowhere to talk to me like that. I know karate, I'll smash
That's
your
true.
face in.
Okay, yes. Now that you've
I was
highlighted
treating
it.
you like you're my enemy.
Yes.
The second time was I treating you like a friend or an enemy.
Friendlier. Yeah. Friend.
Completely friendly.
Okay.
I was appreciating what you had to say to me.
I guess
I was explaining what's wrong with me. I was welcoming you to tell me more things about me. I was complimenting you. I was treating you like a friend. That is the real difference. The first time I was treating Beth like she's my enemy for insulting me, and the second time I was treating her like she's my friend. And treating Beth like a friend was a lot easier than treating her like an enemy, and it got me much better results. Beth, when you were insulting me and I was getting angry, who was making me angry? Now, the first time. Or what did it look like?
It looked like I was making you angry?
It looked like you were making me angry.
Okay.
Did everybody see Beth making me angry the first time? But that was really an illusion. It looked like you were making me angry.
Mhm.
Do you know who was really making me angry?
Yourself.
I made myself angry. I had you insult me 2 times. The first time I got angry, and the second time I didn't. Beth, do you have a remote control to my brain, and you're pressing the anger button?
No.
No, if I don't want to get angry, you can't make me angry. So it just looked like you were making me angry, but I was doing it to myself. And if you're a kid being picked on in school, this is what's been happening to you. The kids have been, picking on you, and you've been getting angry at them. Doesn't it feel to you like they make you angry? But do the kids really have a remote control to your brain and they're pressing the anger button?
No.
The truth is, all this time you have been making yourself angry, but it feels like they do it to you. Now, whenever we get angry at people, whether it's at family members, politicians, bosses, lousy drivers on the road, other kids, it always feels to us like they make us angry, but we really do it to ourselves. The reason it feels like others make us angry is because we are biologically programmed for life in nature. In nature, getting angry is the first step to winning a conflict. Beth, if we live in nature and you attack me, does it mean anything if I say, hey, get your hands off of me, it's against the law, I'm going to call the police?
Absolutely not.
What's police? What's law?
Yeah.
In nature, you're even allowed to kill me, and you don't get arrested. So in nature, if you threaten me or attack me, I better get angry at you to scare you off, or to have the drive to tear you to pieces before you tear me to pieces. The more intensely I get angry in nature, the better my chances are of winning, and the more quickly I get angry, the better my chances are. In nature, I do not have the luxury of trying to figure out consciously what you're looking to do to me. If I'm going to have to ask myself consciously, oh, I wonder what your actions are. Are they aggressive actions? Are they directed towards me? What do you want to do to me? By the time I figure out your intentions, my life may be over. In nature, creatures are very quick. So our brains are programmed to get angry like that whenever we're threatened or attacked. There's no conscious thinking process involved. The anger response does not take place in the neocortex, the advanced thinking part of the brain. It takes place in the amygdala, a primitive part of the brain that we have in common even with reptiles. So since this is a very primitive response that we share with all creatures, and there's no conscious thinking process involved, our brains just respond with anger like that. It feels like others make us angry, but we do it to ourselves. Beth, we played the game 2 times. Each time there was an optical illusion. What you saw me doing was not really what I was doing.
Okay.
The first time, did you see me trying to stop you?
Yes?
Now shut your mouth. You have to talk to me like that. I'll smash your face. And you saw me trying to stop you. Is there anyone here who did not see me trying to make Beth stop insulting me the first time? Everybody saw me trying to stop her? But everybody was wrong. It looked like I was trying to stop you. Do you know what I was really doing the first time?
Antagonizing me?
Be
In a
more
way?
specific. What do you mean?
Encouraging me to continue insulting you?
Exactly. I was making you continue. I didn't want you to stop insulting me the first time. Had you stopped the first time, it would have ruined my demonstration. But I knew that if I get angry, you're going to have fun, you're going to win, I'm going to look like a big idiot. Why should you stop? You're having such a good time. So it looked like I was trying to stop you. I was really making you continue. And I could have kept you going on even longer, but I got worn out and I had to stop.
Yeah.
And this is what's been happening with you and the kids in school. They've been picking on you, and you've been getting angry at them. And it doesn't make a difference if you express your anger outwardly, or you keep it bottled up inside and you try not to show it, or you cry out of frustration. But you're getting angry